He's considered one of Britain's hottest industrial designers. Michael Young, though, was not content to rest on his laurels when he decided to move east to Asia nearly 10 years ago.
I was fascinated by the alternative way of working, and I did really notice the intensity on manufacturing it intrigued me, and I just thought this is what I need to do if I want to be a good industrial designer. I have to understand the mechanics of this industry.
After a brief stint in Taiwan, the designer says intuition brought him to Hong Kong.
And I saw all of these signs on Hong Kong Island, and I just thought, this has to be it. This is the gateway to China, this is the gateway to industry.
He set up his eponymous studio in the colourful Sheung Wan district of Hong Kong Island.
When I was at college, I lived in a place in London called Shoreditch. At that time, it was definitely a very bohemian place. I just found it ironic because when I came to Sheung Wan, it reminded me of Shoreditch 20 years ago, before it was gentrified.
From Shoreditch to Sheung Wan, Michael Young has been collaborating with up-and-coming companies in Hong Kong, as well as international brands that are keen to sell to Asia.
So many European clients want to enter the China market, so they're asking the studio to design for them for the China market, which is really exciting because when I came to Hong Kong was to use Hong Kong as an industrial base, because I realized that everything was here.
But working with emerging brands is what he considers nearest and dearest to his heart.
This project for Native Union really reflects the spirit of Hong Kong and what can happen here. It's basically a speaker, but it interacts with your iPhone. What this does represent is the spirit of Hong Kong in that in 1 year we went from getting the prototype ready, and now you can buy this all over the world. What it does exemplify, it's really highly competitive price-wise, but because we're in Hong Kong, we've got the best supply chain we can have. We can really work with the details, with the factories really well. So, you know, when people say, oh, it's made in China, it looks cheap and it's nasty and it's going to fall apart, this is the complete opposite because we're in control. I'd go as far as saying that every single project is a favourite one because we do put the same amount of love into each project we do, and I think these projects really represent some landmarks. I've been very lucky from really the time that I've been here. There's a lot of second generation young businessmen in Hong Kong who really maybe don't want to making ODM or OEM, they want to do their own things. So I think I'm working with a new generation of entrepreneur here who likes design.
His experience working with some of Asia's leading and up-and-coming firms has inspired a book he has been compiling for several years and is due to be published soon.
When I came to China, I recorded each project fairly well and decided to make examples of 5 or 6 companies we'd worked with to show the design process. And it's really the summary of 5 years' work in Asia. It's a book about design process. It's not, I haven't done it to explain how to set a company up in Hong Kong. It does demystify the process of working with offices.
Michael Young's serendipitous move to Hong Kong has also turned out to be prescient, as Asian economies have emerged stronger from the global economic downturn.
It was at that time a lot of entrepreneurs in Hong Kong decided to develop new projects and look a few years ahead, kept on investing in the factories. So the equipment in the factories is state of the art. That structure helps with a continuous level of research and development. We're just really on our doorstep. We have the facilities to do whatever we want. I've been offered to set up studios in Shenzhen, in Shanghai, but the point is for me, Hong Kong is a sort of multicultural centre. It's the base for me because it works economically. I'm not going to change that. It's not the cheapest place to have a studio. A lot of design studios end up going over the border, but for me I think it's important just culturally for the team to be in Hong Kong and have this mixed environment. I just think there's an energy here which I enjoy that you can't find anywhere else.